Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching Samar News. Here are today's headlines. Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro has been transferred to Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center in New York following a U.S. military operation in Venezuela, U.S. media report. Maduro is expected to face federal criminal charges related to drugs and weapons and will be formally arraigned in Manhattan Federal Court in the coming days. His wife may also face arraignment, though her detention status is unclear. The Metropolitan Detention Center, known for housing high-profile inmates such as Ghislaine Maxwell and R. Kelly, is a high-security facility with a reputation for harsh conditions. At least 40 people, including civilians and military personnel, were killed in recent U.S. strikes on Venezuela, the New York Times reports. The strikes followed a U.S. military operation that captured President Nicolás Maduro. One airstrike hit a 3-story residential building in Catia La Mar, near Caracas's main airport, destroying homes and displacing families. Among the dead was 80-year-old Rosa Gonzalez and members of her family. Survivors described widespread loss and despair. The operation, involving air, land, and sea forces, escalates tensions between Washington and Caracas. Later, Trump described the military operation in Venezuela as a historic display of American military power. Speaking at a news conference at his Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida, Trump said the operation was launched late at night on his direct orders. He claimed air, land, and sea forces were used in what he called a spectacular assault that the world had not witnessed since World War II. He announced that the United States will take charge of Venezuela's administrative affairs until what he called a safe, proper, and judicious transition is possible. The UN Security Council will convene on Monday following a U.S. military operation in Venezuela that captured President Nicolás Maduro. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres called the action a dangerous precedent for international diplomacy. Colombia, backed by Russia and China, requested the meeting to discuss the legality of the operation and its impact on global peace and security. Guterres' spokesperson, Stefan Dujarric, said the strike breaches international law and the UN Charter. China has said that it is deeply shocked and strongly condemns the United States' use of force against the sovereign state of Venezuela and its action against the country's president. The Chinese Foreign Ministry said the US move constitutes a serious violation of international law and an attack on Venezuela's sovereignty and independence. It warned that such actions threaten peace and security in Latin America and the Caribbean. Colombian President Gustavo Petro warned of the dangers of military escalation in the region, urging that peace, respect for international law. Cuban President Miguel Díaz-Canel denounced the U.S. strike as a criminal attack and state terrorism against Venezuela and the region. Iran's foreign ministry also condemned the operation, describing it as a flagrant violation of Venezuela's sovereignty and territorial integrity. Brazil's President, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, has condemned the U.S. military attack on neighbor Venezuela and the capture of his Venezuelan counterpart, Nicolás Maduro, saying it crossed an unacceptable line. In a post on X, he said, "These acts represent a grave affront to Venezuela's sovereignty and yet another extremely dangerous precedent for the entire international community." Lula also called for a vigorous response from the United Nations. North Korea launched ballistic missiles on Sunday, coinciding with South Korean President Lee Jae-myung's visit to China and shortly after the U.S. military operation in Venezuela. The strikes mark Pyongyang's first tests in 2 months, raising tensions across East Asia. At least 2 missiles flew 900 to 950 kilometers into the East Sea. Officials said the tests signal North Korea's nuclear deterrence, warning both China and the U.S. That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samar.tv. Thank you for watching Samar News.